Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a pretty scary and insane situation involving Amouranth that took place overnight. Now, I will openly admit right here at the beginning of the video, when this first started taking place and these posts started popping up like on my timeline, honestly, I thought this was all some sort of like skit or some sort of promotion thing, right? I did not think that this was real whatsoever until Amouranth herself posted the footage of what happened. Now, just a couple days ago, I made a video talking about Amouranth where she had been getting into a pretty shitty situation online where like a clip that she had posted or like a clip she had streamed to her kick was kind of like taken a bit out of context and like people were dogpiling on her. She was kind of going like back and forth with these people. I don't know if this is linked to that. I would have to assume not because of just like the brevity of it all and like what actually happened here. I would really hope and imagine that nobody's like sitting here planning these grand schemed heists or whatever on multi-millionaires based on what they say on Twitter, but unfortunately in this world, man, you just never know. So it all basically started when Amouranth posted out on Twitter that I'm being too robbed at gunpoint. I imagine the misspelling or whatever here is due to the fact that I guess she was live tweeting when all of this happened, but it's right around midnight. She tweets out she's being robbed at gunpoint. Like I said, at first I thought this was all some sort of like scheme or whatever. She was just doing this for attention. Unfortunately, you can never put it beyond people on the internet to fake something like this for attention or views or whatever, right? So I kind of just watched to see how this played out. She continued this by saying, I believe I shot one of them. They wanted crypto is what they were yelling. They pulled me out of bed. So I guess during all of this, they like somehow got in her house. I thought probably she would have had some sort of like home security system or something that like alerts you when people come into the house to like wake you up or let you know. I don't know if that's the case or not here, but I guess they dragged her out of bed looking for cryptocurrency. She apparently fought back. Now, there was footage actually released of this eventually. The unfortunate part is, obviously, I can't show that on YouTube, at least in its entirety, because it's literally a fucking gunfight, essentially. And she shoots the guy and they're running and shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you some screenshots of the video that took place from all of this, right? So this is the first screen cap. You will notice she is in front of the guy. The guy's wearing like black or whatever. She's running towards the door, which is where the camera is. They're in her driveway at the moment. There were 3 robbers. I think you can see them a little bit better if you look deeper into the background, but basically they're following her to where she's leading them. She's telling them like, oh, the crypto is in here. The crypto is in here, because that's why they're there. They're trying to rob her for her cryptocurrency. And so she's leading them to the door. Now, here you can see all 3 robbers are at the door. They're getting ready to enter. There's like some stray dogs or like her personal dogs or something running around in the background, kind of barking and freaking out. None of the dogs do like attack the robbers or anything though. Now, right here is when things get pretty fucking insane, right? So the guys walk into the building. You can't see any of this part, by the way. The only thing available is the audio. And suddenly 4 gunshots ring out. And these 3 guys inevitably come back on camera. And as you can see here, they're making their like Looney Tunes robber getaway escape. They're all running the fuck right back out the door. They tucked tail and got out that door quick. Now, at this point in time, one of the robbers, as they're running away, following the gunshots, is screaming, I got shot, I got shot, I got shot. So it turns out Amouranth walked them into a trap here, and they came in there to get this crypto key or whatever, and she just started fucking shooting these guys, right? Now, only one of them, from our knowledge right now, was actually hit by the gunfire. I don't believe the guy died. I think they all were able to escape, just based on context clues from some tweets we're going to take a look at here in a minute. Now, this is probably like a masterclass video of how to handle yourself, because you got to think, this is a woman who was woke up out of her sleep, and she claims that she was being pistol whipped by these guys. They busted her face up, made her bleed and shit, dragged her out of her house trying to find her crypto. I guess she led him to like, I think it's like the garage, maybe like a second like guest house or something on her property where she claimed that the crypto was being held. And then she just starts fucking shooting back. Honestly, you got to give all the props in the world to her on this one. This is like textbook home defense, right? And it's honestly honestly exactly what these assholes deserved. I mean, you're willing to break into people's houses and you're like dragging women out of bed and fucking pistol whipping them. You got to be a real tough guy, by the way, to rob and pistol whip women. That's a real tough look on you, man. That makes me really fear these guys. Well, not only did they try to beat up on and rob a woman, one of them got fucking shot by a woman, right? So I think unfortunately you lose your tough guy card in whatever hood you come from. To all of my followers over on Twitter, you guys know I am the head honcho of Miller Grove Heights, which is the most dangerous hood in America. And I gotta openly admit, man, if my shooters came back and reported to me on something like this, they would be excommunicated from my block. This is an absolute travesty to hoods all across the country. Nah, never mind. On a real note though, she claims the high-res version of the video is already like with the police or whatever, and she also said that there was a trail of the robber's blood all the way down the driveway and it's being forensic tested to obviously find out whatever. And then she posts some pretty scary pictures underneath it, right? That says they kept shooting my bedroom door and then finally kicked it in. So I guess she was asleep or whatever. They got into her house. The door was probably locked and she was on the other side of it. They started shooting in her fucking house. Now at this point, obviously, like, they have no regard for the safety of anybody. They've broken into somebody's home. They've let their weapon discharge. They're shooting the fucking door. A bullet could ricochet and kill somebody, hurt somebody, kill someone's pet. You never know, right? So at this point, there is no regard for any safety or anything here, right? So the fact that she damn near killed at least one of these guys throughout this whole thing, the only thing I can personally say is I wish that she got all of them. Imagine how gangster it would have been had she fucking one-tap headshotted all these morons over some fucking Bitcoin, right? Now, honestly, that part there really threw me for a loop. Usually when you're being robbed or like people are kicking in your door, they're looking for valuables like televisions or your fucking phones or jewelry or cash. They're not looking for cryptocurrency seeds and fucking your personal vaults and stuff like that. They're not looking for any of that, right? So very odd, very weird setup for a robbery here, but at this point I gotta imagine for Amouranth to pull off this as a stunt, it would take way too much. I mean, we got the video, the images, she proved that the police were there and everything. Apparently the SWAT team showed up due to the shooting and whatnot. Now obviously the one thing that confused me throughout this entire thing is like the live tweeting or whatever, right? Just like the whole, oh, I'm getting robbed, I just got in a gunfight with these criminals, let me go ahead and hit Twitter and let them know what's going on. That's why I and a lot of other people thought this was fake when it was all going down, but no, this is a pretty real situation, it appears here, man. Now, the scary thing about this is this means this was being planned. So the three people involved in this robbery, they obviously A, knew who Amouranth was because they targeted her house. This wasn't some random hit or whatever, right? B, they knew about her financial situation because they knew she had like cryptocurrency or some sort of like physical key to unlock a cryptocurrency wallet, something, right? And that's why I was kind of wondering at first if this was like related to all the shit that was going down the other day, because she was like online a couple days ago arguing with people who hate her, and she was like letting them know, oh, I own all the McDonald's in my city, I'm rich or whatever. So I was wondering at first, like, is this happening because she tweeted that? But I don't think so. I think that it would take more time than has transpired between those events and now to even plan out something like this, right? Because everything up until she started shooting back seemed at least somewhat professional on the robbers' parts. Now, they could have done better, right? Like shooting the fucking door unlocked and shit. I don't really know all too much about that. Doesn't seem too professional to me, but at the end of the day, right, like they had this shit planned out. They knew what they were doing. They knew what was going on. They assaulted her. They hit her. They were beating her with a fucking pistol and whatnot. It's a pretty insane turn of events here. Now, this is why personally, I'm really glad to live in a state where self-defense, especially things like the castle doctrine, exist, because nobody deserves to be violated like this in their own home, have their lives put at risk, have someone shooting guns in their shit, right? You should always have the right to defend yourself and your family and others, right? Someone breaking into your home automatically constitutes a lethal threat. You never know why these people have entered your house, what they plan to do, right? They may rob you and then fucking kill you, so there's no witnesses left. So the concept that there are places out there, especially here in America, where like someone can kick your fucking door in and you have to like try to escape the property, or like you can't defend yourself, you gotta call 911. Hell no, that's insane to me. This is probably one of the best outcomes that could have happened. So from the sound of it, Amouranth is okay and safe. She's cooperating like with the authorities or whatever in this situation. besides having like a busted up face from the pistol whipping and everything, she seems to be at least somewhat okay. I mean, she did defend herself and her property. From my knowledge, nobody else innocent was harmed in the entire event, right? So I think the only thing at this point that I would personally do differently than Amouranth, I probably wouldn't be tweeting all of this stuff out to the internet. I get that like she's trying to prove the story or like show how actually insane that it was, maybe even warn any future potential robbers to back the fuck off. But I think at this point in time, she should probably just be cooperating with the authorities. Honestly, maybe even go to therapy or something for this. I got to imagine this is a pretty traumatizing, fucked up experience to be dealing with. Thankfully, she did turn out okay, but I mean, even then, bro, like having to shoot at somebody, I don't think that's a situation most people ever go through, right? So it's very hard for people to like kind of wrap their mind around like how much adrenaline and how scary and shit that actually would be. But obviously, thankfully, most of us never have to be in a situation like this where you have to actually attempt to kill somebody to save yourself, right? And it's even scarier to think like, who really knows what could have happened if Amouranth wasn't armed in this situation, right? They already had beaten her and bloodied her up from the pistol. They obviously were willing to kill her. I mean, if they're willing to break into her house and try and shoot through the door, beat on her and like pistol whip her, shit like that, right? I can only assume they would have been willing to kill her. It's a really scary thing to think, man. Like these people, they're vicious fucking people, right? I mean, if she wasn't there with a pistol ready to defend herself, they could have just got the cryptocurrency and killed her. You really never know. These people are so fucking unpredictable and dangerous, right? When they do shit like this. So I don't know, pretty wild one though. It seems like over the last like 24 to 48 hours, we've seen some absolute insane shit going on with streamers. Now, I uploaded 3 videos to the channel here today, and all 3 of them involve streamers to a certain degree, right? The one video is the 3 girls who were doing a sis-a-thon theme at like the park or whatever, when some lunatic stalker like jumps out at them and threatens to kill them, right? And then the other one is like one of these streamers in Japan just making an absolute fucking idiot out of himself. But it's getting pretty scary, it seems like, for streamers out there, man. They're just really at the door, literally, in this instance, waiting to hurt you. It's fucked up. But anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about Amouranth getting in a literal gunfight and signing out.